I just watched Grafted. It is a Shudder original film. It's directed by Sasha Rainbow, stars Eden Hart, Jess Hong, and Jared Turner. No, this movie is not a theatrical release. I know, I've been seeing all these theatrical release movies. Audience screaming right now. Okay, I'm so sorry. Okay. Look, I love Shudder movies. They're either super campy or they're like the most unique, innovative horror film I have ever seen in my entire life. I'm a horror person. I have not been seeing some good horror films lately. Let me pull up the scary movies I have seen this year. The Damned, terrible ending, Wolfman, wasted potential, and then Neon was saying Presence was a scary movie. It was a psychological drama. Neon, please know your genres. And then we have Grafted, probably the strongest horror film of 2025 right now. Let me just start off with this note. The Substance just came out and you decided to release this movie right now. Did you not see the Golden Globe nominations? Did you not see the Oscar nominations and think, maybe I should change the release date so that way I get a bigger audience and more sales? I don't know, finance 101, right? You shouldn't release a body horror film when another body horror film is making waves through social media, like by the millions, and is nominated for Best Director, Best Picture, Best Original Screenplay, and so on. Let's use our brains here for a little bit. Your film doesn't stand a chance and people are going to hate it because of that reason, and it's not a fair judgment on your film. And I'm not even gonna count that for whatever rating I'm gonna give this movie, because I'd rather give a proper rating for what the movie actually is. So the movie is about skin grafting, but the way that it uses skin grafting is kind of like a skinwalker in a sense, like a mimic, but the body doesn't change, just the face, which is a really cool feature, and it gets some like really nasty moments in there. I think the strongest point in this movie is not necessarily the body horror, more so the story, because it seems like this movie had more care into the story rather than the body horror, because the intermissions to build up into like these particular scenes that do somewhat get graphic, it feels very long. The movie is only an hour and 36 minutes, which for granted, that's a pretty short R-rated movie, because a lot of them land around the hour 45 to 2 hour and 30 minute mark. The cinematography was so good. Shudder is notorious for some of the worst cinematography you will ever lay your eyes on, but this one was actually like eye candy. I just literally could not stop looking at the screen despite all of these disgusting scenes. Like even during an action movie and there's like a surgery scene, I'll look away. Body horror, it's not by choice of genre. I could not look away from this movie. Also, for an indie film, the CGI, the very little CGI that it had, like when, because it was like a plant that they used to like graft skin together. So like you'll cut off like a part of your skin and then like place it on like a wound that you have and like eject like the plant semen. Oh gosh. Look, it has plant juice, okay? You just inject it into the skin and then put it on your wound, and then the plant juice like makes that skin new again, and it looks absolutely amazing and you look perfect with it. One of the cool ways that this movie kind of develops the plot is that plant juice doesn't last forever, and when you wear kind of like a full face mask of someone else, it tends to fall off and it doesn't look good while you're dating somebody that you're not actually dating. They just think you're the other person that they know. That was a cool plot line. I don't know why I just sidetracked like that. So a little negative feedback. This movie was a little scared to like be scary. There was like so many close-ups of like scalpels being cut into something. Like I almost kind of wanted that wide shot where I see the scalpel like just go around the whole face. Like it's body horror. Don't hold back. Like I expect it to be a bloody mess. And when you just are like, oh, we're just gonna show the close-up because that makes people uncomfortable, like you do it like 6 times in a row, I'm not gonna be scared. It's just predictable. Also, that's in reference to how predictable your story does become in this movie. When you check all the reviews on like Letterboxd, Rotten Tomatoes, you know what the majority consensus is? Your story is predictable. It doesn't really help you that The Substance came out and mind blew everybody, and then when your movie came out, everyone's like, we've seen this before. Yes, 1, it's your release date time, but 2, you just had very specific beats that we've seen in horror, not even just body horror stuff, but we've all seen it in the genre. Like, you see it a mile away once the new girl, or not the new girl, once the main girl starts going after her father's experiment, and you know, people try to take that over, and then also people trying to stop her in other ways, whatever that means to that character. Like, you knew that she wasn't going to have a good ending, that all of her actions were going to culminate into one giant mess, thus merging into a person that she deeply cared about. This movie was really quiet. Okay, editing journey with Riley. Hi, I'm also a professional video editor. You put your audio editing around -12 to -7, maybe even -6. The problem is your dialogue should be at -3 decibels, and that's what you didn't do. And so I had to turn the TV volume up 10 times the amount that I'm supposed to just to hear the dialogue. It wasn't that the music was overpowering it. It was just in the editing room, you needed to boost that dialogue. And if you were peaking, well, that's a different story, and I can't tell you how to fix that. Anyways, editing journey with Riley has ended. Yeah, there's not much to talk about in this movie. I'm just gonna leave it off on that, to be honest. I give this movie 3 out of 5 stars. It had some good moments. It just needed more. It needed more pop. I would just recommend rewriting a couple scenes to kind of build up that tension even more. But again, maybe it wasn't that kind of movie to do that.